Okay, just a really quick one here on covering a cake with edible images. So I have printed off these icing sheets with daffodils on. I have 2 of them, the exact same, and we're going to wrap them around this cake. This cake has just been roughly covered in fondant. It's, let me see, it's a roughly, yeah, 6.5 inches tall, and it's a 6-inch cake. And these are just edible images on icing sheets. That's the plastic backing. So I'll just keep them out of the way a minute. I have some cool boiled water, and I am going to just dampen the whole of this cake. I don't want it too wet, but I do want every part of it just damp, and up around the top there. You want to make sure that you have it up around the top and on the bottom, just that it's completely damp all over. So that's fine. I find it's best to cover the cake a few hours beforehand, just to let it firm up a little bit, and if there's any air holes you can get them out, or any air bubbles you can get them out straight away. So apart from that, if you have it offset on the board, you want to make sure that your first full sheet is to the front of the cake. This is fairly centered on the board. I'm not doing any other decorations as a cake. For my local coffee morning, for Daffodil Day. So they usually, I think, put it in the drawer. So I've just peeled the sheet, and I'm going to, down to the bottom of the board, where the middle is there, just run my hand up there and follow it out, trying to make sure that we have no air bubbles, and just giving it a gentle push into the cake where the sides meet. Just run your finger along there, along the bottom, make sure that it's attached straight away. I was able to bring the image right to the edge here, so I don't have to trim off. Sometimes you might have to trim off a little bit, but that's straight along there. It's nice and even on the bottom, and I am good on the top. So that's the first one. Now there will be a little bit, this is a 6-inch cake and these are 2 A4 sheets, so there will be a little bit of an overrun. And the peeling off it's just simple like that. They should peel off easy. Sometimes if you have a lot of humidity in the air, they can get a little bit hard to peel off. So the trick is just leave it flat in the freezer just for a minute, and it will then make it easier to peel off, but it might be a little bit brittle as well, so you want to work with it kind of quick. So I'm just pulling that off there now, and this time we want to kind of line up here as well as we can. So I'm starting off there on the join, keeping that nice and close. Yeah, and then I'm working this way. Now there is going to be, sorry, an overhang, so I'm working all the way around until I meet the board. You do want to actually be very careful that you're not getting any wet bits on this, that when you're near the join there, that you're not, because water will make the design run. So I'm coming around there, you can see I'm just slightly overlapping. Along there I am going to get, I have a long metal ruler here, I'm going to hold it just along, I can see the join, so I'm just slightly overlapping, and I'm going to run my knife, a sharp knife, and you want to run it all the way up to cut through the icing sheet. Just where it's for the cake there, it's not cutting for me. Okay, so just the bit that's above now. Okay, so I'm pulling that off and just making sure that it's attached nicely. Okay, so we have a lovely wrap the whole way around. Just if there's any air bubbles, try and push them out at this stage. I have one there and I'm just working it up. It's like them window stickers and stuff. You have to get the air bubbles out. Yeah. So I think I'm good there. Another slight one there. This will work on fondant or ganache. It doesn't work as well on buttercream. I know some people do, but I wouldn't use it directly on buttercream. So now the overhang, instead of trying to cut this really neat, I like to tear it. So I'm just going to tear a little bit over the top of the cake, and we might paint a little gold line on that. So we're keeping, you want it to be a torn rather than a cut edge. You want it to look intentionally torn. Okay, so we have the little tear, we just where the two of them meet to have them. So that's it. That's the little bit we cut off. I'll just put a little bit of gold around that there, and there's a beautiful daffodil cake, and a very, very easy to do, to make.